You're coming down the interstate.
Okay.
You see that arm sticking out over the top of the interstate?
Yeah.
Okay, that's pre-pass. Okay. A lot of companies will do pre-pass. You look at the little monitor on the windshield, it'll say green or yellow or red. Okay. Green means keep on going. Yellow, red, stop by and say hi. Now, when I say stop by and say hi, you're gonna be coming down that ramp. And as you come down that ramp, where the posts and stuff are sticking up in the ground,
Yeah.
okay, it's doing a couple different things. One is taking a picture of the side of the truck. And what it's doing, I'll show you what it looks like, maybe. Come on.
Yeah, I saw.
Okay, so this is what it's doing. I don't know. And of course, now don't want to show it to me. What it's doing actually is taking a picture of the side of the truck and the front of the truck. And what it does is it runs the DOT number, that's on the side, and it runs the license plate on the front. And it lets us know how, like, is your registration up to date? It will let us know that the company is not out of service by running the DOT number. It does all of that stuff. Lets us know if you got fuel permits and all that. Before you get to the big sign going up and over and back down, that's where the arrows are. It tells you the direction one way or the other. Okay, so if it tells you to go to the bypass, you're just going to take the bypass where that orange truck is right now and go right back on the interstate. Okay? If it tells you to come to the scale side, and the arrows will point one way or the other, but if it tells you to come to the scale side, you're going to come to this side. Okay? That's, as you're coming down the ramp, that's what's going on. Everybody wonders, what's it take a picture of? Well, it's actually taking a picture of your DOT number and running that, and your license plate and running that. Okay? It records all that stuff. Not every truck, but the ones it can read, it'll record them here. This is actually pre-pass. So the green means they're staying out on the road. And if we get really good eyesight, which I don't, I can tell that Hirschbaugh will be coming down the road here in just a few minutes. And he's got a green light, he would not have to come in. If it's red, you better ready to stop by here. Because this tells us if you got a red light. The gray ones, these are a pre-pass vehicle for another state. Does not mean us. Okay? So the green ones means it's a pre-pass system that going down the road. But if it's anything else, they should be stopping by and seeing us.
How do we know as drivers if we have a green light or a red light?
So you should have a little transmission box on your windshield or on the dash, and there'll be a light, a green light, a red light, and a yellow light. Green light means you're good to go. And like, let's say you run the scale, and it looks like from in here you ran the scale, and I go chase you down. So I got you pulled over, driver. I want you to push that button. There's a little button on that transponder box. You push the button, it lights up what color it is. Green, we're going to still let you go on down the road. Yellow or red, you're going to come back and you don't want to talk to me after that, because now you've got to run the scale violation going on your driver's license. Okay, those are an automatic. We're going to write you a ticket for. It just is, and it's just like running a stop sign in this state. Okay, if you for whatever reason run the scale, it's a long walk, but guess what you're going to get to do? Pull over at the end of the ramp and walk back up here. Okay? Let us know what's going on. Bring your permit book with you. And what we're going to probably make you do is swing back around, because you go down here to the next exit, go up, around, come back, and we'll bring you back through that way. But don't go past the scale.
Does it vary from state to state?
It varies very much so from state to state.
Okay.
Absolutely. Watch the signs. If you happen to be driving a small vehicle under 26,000 pounds, like a straight truck, okay? Some states don't want you to come into the scales. Other states do. Here, if you notice the sign out there on the interstate, it says anything over 10,000 pounds. So basically an F-350 pickup and bigger better be stopping by and saying hi if you're using it for businesses, okay? So as you're coming down the ramp, it tells you to come to the scale side. Okay, you're gonna roll down that and wait your turn. And if you'll notice outside, up on top, there is a light up there, a green, yellow, and red light, just like a stoplight. Follow what it says, because right beside it, it will have these commands. Stop, back up, pull forward, park, or inspect. Okay? Where I want you to stop at. Sorry. I gotta walk up through here just a little bit, guys. Everybody misses this. Where's that orange cone at? Yeah, push this up so you can see it.
It's really tiny.
See that orange cone? That's where the front axle goes. Okay? Because this thing will run itself almost if the truck is parked where it's supposed to be. So if you're not up on this front platform, it's telling you to pull forward. And if you're not paying attention, you're going to sit there because the computer system is smart enough to know, hey, I've got a truck sitting on the ramp, but it ain't doing what it's supposed to do. And all it can do is, when you look up here, there's a green light, yellow light, red light, and then you stop, pull forward, leave, whatever it happens to say. That's this scale specific.
Yep.
Okay? But we're going to want you on that front platform. The steer axle goes on that front platform. The way we weigh it on this particular scale, this square here is a steer axle. From here back to the next metal going across, that's your drives. And from there on back is your trailer. Okay? So, you're here and you're weighed out and you're good, and we hit the green button to leave. That means you get the heck out of Dodge. Okay? Don't run over anybody walking across, but you're free to go at that point, all right? So you go right back out and get right back on the interstate. Okay? Now, you get told to pull around back for an inspection. Okay? Big parking lot. Any one of those sites. Depending on how ambitious you are, because you may be going out there 5 or 6 times or more. Over here is typically where we want you at. That back there, this part back over here, is more for out of service. Once you get, if you get put out of service for your logbook or equipment violations or whatever, typically we'll have you pull down over there out of the way to get whatever you gotta get taken care of. Otherwise, normally we're gonna inspect you right up here. We're supposed to be, I don't have wood around here, supposed to be getting a building put up right there. This fall. Don't know if it's gonna happen or not. But that's what we're talking about, is over there. Then we'll have you pull into the building. Okay? Let's see, what else can I tell you? The other thing about this parking lot, this is considered a rest area. So normally, like when I came in at 6 o'clock this morning, this thing was full of trucks. There is, if you walk out in that parking lot, you'll see little hockey pucks. I call them that. They look like a hockey puck. They're stuck in the concrete. I don't know, there's some app that you can get on that will tell you whether there's an open spot here or not. And you can go onto that app and it'll say, hey, there's 5 spots open at the Dallas Scales. This is a rest area. There's no restrooms yet. The building hasn't been built yet. It's coming. But they still consider this a rest area for trucks. So if you want to pull around back, take a nap, do whatever, great. When you leave, if we're open, pull across the scales. That's it. We don't care. If you're here before we all open up and you want to pull over on that side of the scale, I don't care. So you get the inspection all done. You get ready to leave and you're wondering what the heck you do. Okay, you've pulled in this way. You're going to pull out that way. Okay, just make a big loop, and you're going to park, or you're going to be on that side of the scales to go out. Okay. Any questions on this part?
What is the most common mistakes that you come across as far as beginners, just like us?
Pulling up.
Just pulling up.
Yeah, guarantee you that's, but hell, that's not even beginners. But you got to realize every scale is different. Okay, the one I'm telling you about here, this is how you do it. If you happen to be going to Salix, Iowa, or to Osceola, Iowa, to our older scales, he's blowing or brushing everything off. But if you happen to be going to one of our older scales, we've only got 2 scale platforms. We don't have enough to weigh the whole truck all at once. So it will tell you pull up. Always pull your steer axle to the front scale. And then follow what the sign says, because like the one in Osceola says pull trailer on. So we can weigh your truck and then have you pull forward, and we can weigh your trailer. All right? But just follow what the sign. We've got speakers. So when you're sitting there parked and you aren't doing what you're supposed to do, don't be surprised if you hear somebody pull forward. Okay? And our speaker system is not a Bose quality system. Good luck trying to understand it. Because typically, if guys don't understand what's going on, and they get up here and they parked, and we tell them, go ahead. To me, that's pretty standard, go ahead. We've had guys get out of their trucks and jump inside here and just matter in hell because we call them a goat head. No, I said go ahead. But the speaker system is not the best quality speaker system. I'm just telling you. Let's see, what else can I tell you about the system here? So, I don't know if you'll be. So, okay, so he's only got half of his truck on, but you can see the green dot. Let me back up over here again. Sorry. You can see this is what he's weighing. So if you had the whole truck on, you get the whole idea. But that's how all that works. You pull up, it reads axle, or the, number 1 is your front axle. 2 is your tandem, so you know there's somebody on there. And then 3 is the back axle of the trailer. The system knows how, and I'm not a computer guy, I don't know, but it knows all that stuff. Okay? A lot of times when you're on the scale, if you notice right there behind, right there beside him, there's a mirror. Okay, what that mirror is for is so I can see the lights on the back of the trailer. So we may have you release your brakes or settle, so we can see when the lights are working. Okay, depending on where the sunlight hits at, a lot of times we can't see that very good. So hey, driver, hit your brakes or release your brakes, and then we can see what's going on. A lot of times, if you're really close on your weight, when you pull onto the scales, release your brakes. Take your foot off the brake, let the truck sit there. The reason why is, this one not so much, but there are scales that will do this. When you stop, you'll put pressure on the platform, thank you. And that platform might not be quite perfectly right, and so it's adding an extra poundage onto it. Release your brakes. It's not gonna make a lot of difference, but I can tell you when there's 40 pounds, makes a difference between a $1,000 fine and a $400 fine. That's 40 pounds makes a big difference, okay? Just, I'm just telling you, you want all the benefits you can have there.
That was my question. When we come onto the scale, how should we work our brakes?
Release them. Now, did you hear that symbol just now?
Yeah.
Okay. There he is, there. Okay, so this thing has also got, I guess we shut off that probably what. This thing has also got a tire monitoring system on it. So as you come down that ramp, here at the very top of the ramp, it's just it looks like a piece of caulking going across the highway. Okay? It lets us know whether you got a flat tire or not. Not only does it let us know if you got a flat tire or not, it tells us which one it is. And it's pretty damn accurate. I mean, like, we've spent a lot of money at this scale for stupid stuff. License plate readers, and they all seem to be working better now, but at the time it didn't. But that tire monitoring system is pretty damn accurate. Okay? It doesn't give us very many false positives or whatever you want to call them. So,
Like in the wintertime, sorry to cut you off.
no, go right ahead.
There's like some, a lot of, snow will make a difference in the weight and then let's say.
Okay, so here in Iowa, and a lot of states are this way, I don't give a crap.
So you'll make him like get up there.
So like if you pull onto the scale and you're weighing 85,000 pounds and it's all because of snow and ice, you're getting a ticket for 85,000 pounds. Not only that, but now you're gonna pull around back and knock it all off to see if you're legal, because you gotta be legal before you leave here. So if you're in there, if you're going across the country and you get into a slushy spot or whatever, of a whole bunch of snow and ice, you're probably gonna wanna stop and clean that off long before you get here, and you do not stop on the interstate or a ramp. You pull into a truck stop to do that. You don't pull onto the ramps, unless you like getting tickets, because you're gonna end up doing that. But that's a great question. When you are, the way the rules read, that road doesn't care whether there's snow and ice on it, on your truck, or whether you're just plain overweight. It just knows that you're weighing a certain weight and you gotta get that taken care of. So, you're around back and you're wondering, okay, crap, what did I do wrong? You may not have done anything wrong. I'll be honest with you. A lot of times when I first started my career, my son was not very big. And one of the things I used to do for him was I'd ask him, I said, hey, what color truck do you want me to stop today? This sounds silly, but if he told me he wanted me to stop a purple truck, if you were driving a purple truck, guess what? Tag, you're it. We don't have to have a reason to pull over a truck in this state, other than to inspect it. So I would always take a picture of it when I got home and he got home from school or whatever. Where do I stop for you? And if it's yellow, guess what? You were driving a yellow truck, you were going to get looked at. I mean, it was just a game we played, but that's what we done. So we don't have to have a reason to pull you around back. Normally, probably 85 to 90% of the time, I've got a reason to pull you around back. And it may not turn out anything, but like you're in here and it looks like you've got a tire that's low on tread. All right, pull your butt around back, we'll take the tread gauge out there and we're gonna measure it. Turns out you're fine, guess what? It's not a violation, no big deal. You do have that problem, then you're gonna have a problem there. But that's how we do that a lot of times. I mentioned the DOT numbers. Sometimes it doesn't get your DOT numbers exactly correct, and it says that the company's out of service. Well, we come in here, we get your DOT number, put it on there, nope, that's fine. It's stuff like that. A lot of times we'll get you pulled around back. If we're doing a random inspection or whatever, guess what? You're gonna get an inspection. So we get you pulled in, we have you come inside here. Typically, you're gonna be over there where that guy is in the blue t-shirt, along there. I hope to hell one of these days we can get rid of this plastic crap, but right now we still have it, okay? So what we're gonna ask for, what we need to have you bring in, I guess, is your driver's license, registration for the truck and the trailer, your permit book, logbook, and bills under load.
If you have an electronic log.
Okay, what about it? If you can, a lot of guys have got portable ones. They got them on little pads or whatever. If you can't, just let us know. So here's what's gonna happen. If we're doing the inspection and the logbook is in my truck, perfect, no problem. Okay, we'll work with that, because what we're gonna do is we'll go outside. All right, I need to have you transmit your logbook to me. All right. And you better know how to transmit the log, because guess what? You're required to. Okay? You gotta have the instructions, you better know how to use your instructions. Okay? That's what we're getting at there. And so then once you've transmitted them to us, we can pull them up on our computer and look at them. Yeah.
So in the winter time, let's say like when you guys do inspections, more than you go, like let's say hypothetically speaking, you don't have change in this.
I don't give a crap when you got change now. There are a lot of states that do.
Okay.
There are a lot of states. Iowa does not have a chain law.
Okay.
Some states do, like in Colorado and Utah and Wyoming, they've got chain laws. We don't have them.
Okay.
So, but I know what you're talking about, but we don't have them.
So what is the permit book?
Okay, you're typically gonna have a book that's got all your permits in there for fuel permits. It depends on what you're hauling. You may have hazmat permits, all that sort of stuff. Normally they're in a book that the company gives you. Keep that book up to date. The companies do a pretty good job of keeping everything up to date there. But it's gonna have your registration in it. for the truck, your fuel permits, hazmat permits, depending on what state you're going in, you may have, alcoholic beverage permits, all that sort of stuff. Those are what we need to see. Some states, if you guys haul oversized loads, some states are gonna require you to pull in, whether the scales are open or not, and show your permit. If we're open, and that sign down there tells you to pull in, then you're gonna pull in. If it tells you to take the bypass, you're gonna take the bypass. We don't require looking at that permit like some states do. If that makes sense. There's some states that require you, they wanna see that no matter what. Some states don't. So we got you in here. We're doing our inspection thing. There's gonna be a lot of information we're asking for and throwing at you in a hurry. What's your name? What? Okay, so I'm gonna say, hey sir, is this your current address and your driver's license? Yes or no? If it is, great. If it's not, what's your new address? Who are you working for? Now that sounds like a really odd question for me to ask, but you would be surprised how many drivers have no idea who they're actually working for. Because a company leases on to another company, leases on to this company, who the hell are you working for? You need to know that information, all right? So that's the next question I ask is, who are you working for? Then where are you going with your load? Coming out of Washington and you're headed to Pennsylvania, wherever, I don't care. But we're gonna need to know that information, okay? Because that's all that stuff is going on our inspection form that we print out that we're gonna give to you. So we do the inspection, we go out, we crawl underneath the truck, or we do a walk around, or we're doing just paperwork. It depends on the officer. We have checks where we're going out and crawling underneath the truck all the time. We've got other things where we are, so a level 1 inspection, okay? A level 1 inspection is we're gonna crawl in, around, under, on top, whatever we gotta do. We're gonna check all the brakes on the truck, everything. That's a full-blown inspection. That's a level 1. Okay? If you pass, I know there's some stickers there, you'll get a little sticker put on your truck or trailer, depending on what you got and what passes and what doesn't pass. Okay, so that's the first part. A level 2 inspection. A level 2 inspection is we're gonna do lights and tires. We're not gonna crawl underneath the truck. Some of us that have been around for a while, like myself, I'll still check the front brakes. I'll make you pop the hood and I'll check the front brakes. Okay? But we don't typically go underneath the truck unless we find a problem. Okay? That's on a level 2 inspection. And there's no stickers going to be issued or anything like that. A level 3 inspection, that is just driver only. We're going to check your paperwork, your driver's license, check the note as far as the shipping papers and all that sort of stuff. But we're checking to make sure you got all your permits. Normally level 3s are done on patrol. Let's say you were speeding, okay? Got you pulled over, okay? Got you pulled over, and the only violation is I'm walking up there, the only thing I see is I got the speeding violation. I don't see the equipment violation. All right, well, guess what? We're just gonna do a level 3 inspection. Check over your paperwork, give you your ticket for your speed or your warning or whatever it's gonna be, get you back out. Normally, I hate to say this, but it's kind of a rule of thumb. A level 3 inspection takes about a half hour. Some guys can do it a little bit quicker, some guys a little bit longer. Depends on if there's anything wrong. If we find a violation on that logbook, holy crap, the way these systems work anymore, you could be there an hour. It just kind of depends. A level 2 inspection, anywhere from half hour to 45 minutes. Typically, normally there's not a whole lot wrong when we're doing a level 2, but that's what it's going to be. Level 1, I'd like to tell you an hour. Some guys can do a little bit quicker. If you get into it, and I just had one a couple weeks ago, it took me almost 3 hours. But with that being said, he was out of service 17 different ways. You're going to find those where they're just piles of crap, basically, and that's what this one was.
What constitutes level 1 or level 2 or level 3? What is it like? Is it put that over and okay, it's tires are low or speeding or something like that? So you see that and it brings up other problems.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. So let's say I got you pulled over, okay, because you were speeding, all right? And so, well, let me back up. Do I have to have a reason to pull you over?
No.
Okay, so, but I got you pulled over because you're speeding. Well, that's what we see 95% of the time, all right? We'll talk about that here in a minute. So I got you pulled over. As I'm walking up the side of that truck and trailer to get to you, I notice that you've got a couple of old tires on that trailer. Self? What else is going on here? So I get up to the truck, and as I get up ready to go to the cab, I notice that your airlines are leaking. The glad hands are leaking. Selfie's out of service. Those airlines should not be leaking. All right? So now I'm going to go from a level 3 inspection, which we kind of started out to be because you're just speeding. Well, now I'm going to do a level 2 inspection because I know he's out of service. Okay? Well, as I'm doing my level 2 walk around inspection, checking your lights, your tires, and that sort of stuff, hell, I see a couple other things that are problems underneath. Driver, guess what? We're going to go to scale, we're going to do level 1. That's kind of how those escalate out. Not always, but that's a good rule of thumb there. Okay? So let's talk about speeding. Well, first off, we'll do 2 things. We'll talk about speeding. So, speed limit down here is 70 miles an hour, right? What is it for trucks?
60.
70 miles an hour. You don't see a sign that differentiates trucks from cars, do you? A lot of states you do. Okay, a lot of states you do. Pay attention to the speed limit sign. So, if the speed limit is 70 miles an hour, at what speed are you speeding?
About 70, yes.
Huh?
Anything about 70.
Exactly, anything above 70. Okay, so let's say it's, so this was Wednesday night. I was out here, me and another guy were, and we were the only 2 in the area. Okay, and we were working the interstate system here a little bit, and I happen to be a hazmat specialist. So mainly the only thing I play with is hazmat. Okay, but it was slow. Hazmat's typically slow at nighttime. And it was getting towards the point where I needed to get an inspection done before I went home. Somebody went by at 72 miles an hour. Guess what? Got pulled over. Did I write him a ticket? No. But was it a reason for me to want to get pulled over? Absolutely. Absolutely. 72 miles an hour. Really, really watch yourself when you're going through towns. Oh my God. Now, with a town, can town cop pull you over in this state? Damn right. Guess what I do as a sideline job? I work the next town back. I live here close. Okay? It's amazing how many drivers are like, I walk up to them and say, hey, I need to see your driver's license, medical card, and logbook. Well, I don't have to have those things. So here's my real job, sir. I'm a DOT officer. Now, you gonna show me your stuff or not? Okay? You got to realize in this state, every state, a peace officer can write you a ticket for whatever they need to write you a ticket for. You're speeding, guess what? I don't care what you're driving, you're going to get a speeding ticket. All right? And same way when you get pulled over by a city officer, probably got a pretty good idea what they're doing there. Okay? So we got that taken care of. So let's say you are pulling up to a stop sign. Okay? And here's how we look at stop signs. If I'm going to start beating on him with my baton, do you want me to slow down or stop?
Stop.
Okay. It's the same way with a truck. Stop. All 18 wheels or whatever need to be stopped. Okay? Don't slow down unless you like paying tickets, because all of our squad cars have got cameras front and back. Okay? And it's amazing how many times we go to court, Your Honor. Watch the video. Guilty. Hell, you can watch the video and see that they ran a stop sign. They didn't stop. The rules say you gotta stop. They didn't say slow down. Real simple that way.
What do you do if a guy gives you an attitude?
That's probably not the best option, but it happens. Okay? There's one of you, and there's thousands of me. Okay? I can make your life miserable in a hurry. okay? That is not the option you wanna have. Let's say I write you a ticket for speeding, and you think it's completely bogus, that's bullcrap, I wasn't speeding, you had a different vehicle. You suppose arguing along the road is where you argued at? No. Go to the courtroom to argue that. Roadside, all you're gonna do is get in trouble. That's what the court system is for. You can try to explain it a little bit, but more often than not, with the radar systems we have anymore, I hate to tell you this, guys, hell, I drive